moratorium
Yeah,
from an
right
hour.
now. More action
Absolutely.
tonight.
Oh, hello, and welcome to another edition of the Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, the Professor, Russ Stevens on my left. On my right, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's back, the barber to the stars, Hollywood Pete McGilvery. Well, we have a great show for you tonight, guys. Let's get it started. We're going to start with the Patriots and Deflategate. And guys, I am so sick of hearing that word, so I'm going to change it to Herpesgate. Okay? right? Because just when you think it's cleared up, it comes back to aggravate the crap out of you. And now we have Tom Brady with the appeal, right? He's appealing to the very man who made the decision, right?
That's right.
To Roger Goodell. And there's a nice picture of Tom looking all cute and stuff going in.
By the way, there's a new nickname I heard.
What?
Balgazi.
Well,
For Deflategate.
yeah,
Balgazi.
see, there you go.
There
right.
you go. So we can maybe at least shift it a little bit.
All right, not herpes?
No.
Oh, man. I just like saying that word. All right, so he goes in, right, for 10 hours. He meets with Goodell with all this series of lawyers, and he comes up. Of course, they're not going to make the decision for a while. So I ask you boys, when it all comes out in the wash, what happens as far as this suspension goes?
Well, I think there's multiple gates still that we need to go through. This thing will get dropped to 2 or 1 games, I would assume.
Right.
It's not going to be enough for Brady unless he gets exonerated from doing anything wrong, and we'll see you in court in probably like November.
And everybody gets new Uggs.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So it doesn't go down to 0, though. I'm predicting 0. I'm predicting
Goodell?
From Goodell. Yeah.
Really?
From Goodell.
Yes.
You are an optimist
Yes.
tonight.
No, yes, absolutely.
Good for
0.
you.
Yeah.
The
Look,
glass is more than half full.
I would say.
so many theories. You cannot suspend this man because for every game you suspend him, we're talking about what? $1 million, $2 million, right? That's an extraordinary amount of money, right?
What if Roger got him in his fantasy league?
Yeah, right. I just wish that Tom Brady at some point just went over the table and just grabbed him by the throat and
He'd
said,
like to.
I
He'd
know
like
people.
Are you
Right?
kidding me right now?
Giselle
Because-
knows people, right? And just scare the crap out
One
of
call to Brazil and
Yeah,
you're
you got
nothing.
about 35 million people on you.
Do you hate Goodell's arrogance?
Look, he's the guy. You can. If there's one thing you can count on is that Goodell will screw something up.
He's had a bad year.
Right.
He's
Yeah,
had a
right.
pretty bad year.
But the owners haven't been touched, so they consider him having a good year.
But I want to get back to you.
Okay.
So 0 games. This
0
Goodell
games.
has been painted into the corner. So 0 games means the $5 million of the owner's money that he spent on the Ted Wills
Yeah.
report got flushed down the toilet.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Because Goodell is used to taking the hits for the league, right? So this is not something.
he gets paid $55 million a
Yeah.
year.
So does he write the check for $5 million back and say, look,
Yeah.
I spelled up the Wells report. Here's your $5 million back to the owners?
I think the owners would prefer to have Tom Brady in the league playing games.
Absolutely
you
great.
know?
He's Tom Brady with a clean reputation is worth $100 million to the NFL.
They've already made all their money, boys, with all the marketing. We're talking about that right now in late June.
Everybody's going to watch the games.
Everybody's already won in the NFL. Let the guy play opening night, and I think he is going to play opening night. And you're giving me a look.
Yeah,
It's
no,
a
I
little
don't
bit
think
of
it's
giving me a
rush.
look
yeah,
like
look,
no.
I mean, I'm rolling it around in my mind,
Yeah.
trying to think about whether it's crazy talk or not. I don't know. I do think the NFL would really like Brady there on opening night.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think they'd like to still to punish him more than a fine. So I don't know
Can
what
they?
happens.
Yeah, it
Can
is
he
hard
do
to
that?
figure
Can
out
he
what-
do that? Can he say, okay, let's
Pick
give
a
him
game,
mulligan.
whatever
It's
game
all-
you want. Yeah, Tom, pick a game you
Yeah.
want to take off.
I just hate when you say the word punish Tom Brady. It just upsets me right there. That man
Isn't
needs
it
to be punished
amazing
for
we've gotten
nothing.
to this point? Isn't it amazing we've gotten to this point? It
Punish
is
him for being
stunning.
wonderful.
Right.
All right, this is a fan show.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I ask you a question. Has this watered down the Super Bowl victory for you as a fan? Has all of this...
Not at all.
It
Not
hasn't
for
tempered
me.
your enthusiasm
Not for
for
me.
the...
Because you know the balls were okay.
Right, but I mean, just having all this crap since they won the Super Bowl, has this worn you out as a fan as far as...
It's taken away from it for me. I know that much. It's beaten me down a bit.
You know that every time I feel like that, though, I've downloaded that little pic of the little video of the Malcolm Butler interception.
That was the greatest
The one
Super
from
Bowl
the end
ever.
where he goes up and taps Browner. I watch that. I'm like, oh yeah, we're good. We still won.
All right,
no
so
one can
you're
take
good.
that away.
And
Okay.
Brady was brilliant
Yeah, right.
in the game.
But it's
that
just...
fourth quarter was a thing to behold.
It's just going to be these things when the moment training camp starts, this all goes away.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And they just...
Of course.
Right? Because
And-
it's...
It's going to go away here in Foxborough, that's for sure.
Look, it'll get brought up on the opening game. Michaels and Collinsworth will make a big deal of it because that's what they'll do. NBC will parade this thing up and down
Well,
the
if
field.
he's not there, they have to. I mean,
course.
that's the big news.
But it's going to recede. Over time, it's going to be a blip on the radar screen.
And besides, Le'Veon Bell and Blount are both out of that game.
That's
for
right.
starters.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Tom Brady's still the face of the league. For me, at least, right? You know, but so the face of the league needs to be in front on opening night. That's why the Super Bowl winners play opening
But
night.
Tom Brady is here and Peyton Manning is in trade rumors.
Oh, I don't even
have
get me
no
started
idea
with
what's
that. Yeah,
going
I don't
on
understand
anymore.
that one. All right, so we're going to go to the Old Town team who are continuing to be in the Sala Dwellers. Now, I ask you the question, does it seem like the fandom has pretty much settled into the fact that the Red Sox are in last place and it's okay?
I was amazed last night when Ortiz hit that home run. There were 34,000 people in the stands going bananas.
Yep.
Like it was
Right.
in a playoff game.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You need something to go bananas for.
Right. Has Deflategate helped the Red Sox in the sense that they've been a huge distraction so people aren't focusing on the Red Sox like they normally would because you can always turn and start talking about Deflategate? So in some weird way, has that helped the Red Sox? Because they should be all over this team right now.
I think people are. I think people are all over them. I think people. It's tough. There's only so much you can talk about with a bad team.
Right.
You know. So they've been bad since the third week of the season.
We've been
We're kinda
singling out
topped
scapegoats right from the word
Right.
go. And but I got to say something like Russ was saying about the crowd. The ninth inning, everyone was still there, weren't they,
Yeah,
last night?
absolutely.
We
Yeah.
couldn't move down like we usually do for the ninth inning.
Hey, don't tell anybody, Joe. yeah, we moved down.
Yeah.
Yeah, look.
Look, it's Fenway. It's
place
the
was
Mecca.
still full.
It's the Mecca. It's the summer. Kids are out of school. You got tickets. Just you might as well. You can't sell
Yeah,
them.
right. You're still going to jump on that bus from Vermont and go to the game.
Absolutely.
There's still some good things about this team, really.
Totally agree.
There is. There's some exciting things. You've got Mookie. I mean, it's great stuff. Mookie,
Xander, my boy.
Yeah.
Well, really, the Gold Dust
Brock
twins, right?
Holtz.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at
Swihart. I mean, look.
Swihart.
that's
Yeah,
Pete's baby, Brock Holt. I didn't
The
realize
new
that
pitcher,
tonight.
The young pitcher, he's fun to watch.
Exactly.
You know?
There are. And Pete's making a good point that if you ironically, if you think about the future now,
Yeah.
it actually looks. We got sold a bill of goods earlier this year that this team was as strong as ever, but now you're seeing it on the field with these young guys up the middle, especially.
They're the strength
Yeah.
of the team.
And they're fun.
So you've made the transition.
I'm-
You've
yeah.
settled
Well,
in.
I've
This
made
season
the
is
transition.
over.
No, I've
This
made the
season-
transition. I am now sell everything. And this whole thing about Buckholz, which is hysterical, which we said on this show 6
Sell
weeks
high.
ago,
Oh.
if Buckholz has 6 or 7 starts, sell him. You must sell Buckholz.
Absolutely.
He's never finished a season that I can recall.
Right?
Yeah, he's
right,
not
Joe?
durable.
Joe, Pete, Russ, he's scheduled to go into the DL very soon,
Absolutely.
right? That's what he does,
I would
right?
be burning up. I would be on the phone with Danny Ainge tonight if I were Ben Cherington.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Can I
You're
get the
right.
7th pick in the
You're
draft
right.
if I give you? I will take anything for Clay Buckholz at this point that has
Absolutely.
value.
Because you have Masterson.
Yeah. But this is what we
you
wanted.
have to sell high on Buckholz.
Right, we know him. We know
Absolutely.
him, right? We know a child that misbehaves a lot and who's acting nice. We know when
Right.
the other shoe's going to drop at some point. Buckholz is just, this is kind of his mid-season, what he does, no pressure, right? but all of a sudden he looks at his watch and says, "It's time."
First
right?
sign of
I've done
adversity.
enough.
Yeah, he's got a little hitch in his elbow.
around
He's
the
on the
All-Star
DL,
game
right?
And you can get a lot for him.
Absolutely.
He almost blew up yesterday in the first inning before he got recorded and out. The first guy got on, and all of a sudden,
Look, if
he's
you're
throwing 3
if
feet
you're
over the
in
guy's head.
contention, you take a shot at Buchholz. Like, that's a great guy
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
team that's in contention, like the Kansas City Royals or somebody like that, and you can bring in a Buchholz before the All-Star break to make you 12, 15 starts.
Yeah, but we're talking like it's over.
It's over.
Just
It
because
is
Scully's
over.
up there.
And that's what,
Yeah.
great segue, right? Are we officially burying the Red Sox? Because we have a new addition to the show here at the Grandstanders Live. Scully, right behind me, he, with his Red Sox hat tonight, okay? He's very similar to most of the Red Sox. He has no heart or balls, right? But he's there, and so we officially bury the Red Sox right now here, June 25th.
Yeah, it's over.
It's over.
Done.
before July 4th. I don't think
Wow.
I've ever
Out
seen
of it.
that before.
10 games under
Done.
500.
Well, now Pedroia's out for 2
This
weeks.
Scully, look at that. Yeah.
You've got Pedroia's out for 2 weeks.
Right.
Who knows with Hanley? Hanley could be out for 2 months because he's got a bruise on his hand.
But
so
Shane
His
Victorino's
feelings were
coming
hurt,
back.
too.
right.
Yes,
No, they're done.
Hannaford's coming
He's
back.
in permanent rehab.
Yeah.
Things can happen here.
Napoli sulking.
If Hanley has anything touch him, a ball, the wall, anything, he immediately, that's it. I'm
Have
out
you
of the
ever
game.
in your life seen a guy look at a hit ball? When he got hit,
He's
I was
a
listening
magnet. He's
I was
like a
listening on
magnet.
the radio, right?
Yeah.
And they said that Hanley got hit by a ball, which you immediately think coming down the third base line or the first base line.
That's the second
How many
time.
times you see guys get hit by line drives going from first to second
A line drive that hit the ground
that
first.
he watched the whole way?
Yeah.
Yep. Uh-huh.
That happened in front of him. And it's the second time it's happened this year.
Stunned.
Yeah.
Stunned.
He did some fancy Dancing with Stars move and got hit in the hand.
Yeah.
I think it's
Unstunned.
because he wears that Little League helmet that spins around
Yeah.
in his head. He can't see. 'Cause
Distracting.
you know, I honestly think that has something to do with it.
Yeah. So, I would, with the team now buried, okay, I ask you this question. Well, do we ever have to worry about Fenway Park ever being torn down? Because isn't that really what the Red Sox will be selling from right now to the end of the season is go to Fenway Park?
Fenway experience.
Fenway Park
All right,
experience.
sure.
It's,
Right.
it's a
America's
big part of the
ballpark.
attraction. It's a
America's
big part.
ballpark.
America's greatest ballpark.
Yeah.
And isn't that kind of pathetic, actually? I mean, seriously, we're selling the ballpark right now? We literally have failed again. This is the third time in 4 years that we will be in the last place at a $200 million payroll.
I would put a yard sale sign up
Yeah.
in the ballpark and have all comers.
But no
come
one's
in
going to
to-
take half of these guys.
No.
Well, some of
Unless the-
some of these guys will have
No.
some value. Some of them will have value.
Like,
right?
the
Buchholz has value.
yeah.
Napoli probably still has value. Amazingly
No one will
enough.
take Napoli unless you pick up the sell. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, true.
Does Justin Masterson, who's going back into the rotation, this
Ah.
late-breaking news from the Grandstanders Live desk, and Joe Kelly, our big acquisition for John Lackey,
With
is now
Alan
back,
Craig, excuse
is
me.
back with Craig in Pawtucket. It really comes down to this, boys. We want Buchholz to be traded, but do we trust Cherington to make the trade?
No.
I think the Cardinals hacked into the Red Sox system.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
But right, isn't that what it comes
It
down
seems
to?
like they've been offered for Buchholz numerous times, and they just would never pull the trigger.
Yeah.
They
will
love
now.
him they just love him. They would never pull the trigger on him.
Well, if you kind of read the tea leaves, and with Nick Cafardo of the Globe, he kind of gives you he's the Red Sox mouthpiece, and all of a sudden he's talking up Buchholz staying with the Red Sox. Buchholz says he wants to stay here the rest of his career. So are they going to use him as their number one starter moving forward into next year? Isn't that what we just did?
That would be asinine.
Yeah. It's crazy.
He
So-
doesn't have the physical makeup to be that guy.
Who is that guy?
Well, we hope it's
Not
Erod.
Rick
He
Porcello.
didn't obviously pitch well today, but we hope it's Erod, right? We hope it's a young guy. We hope Brian Johnson comes up. We hope Henry Owens comes up, right? We're going to be
That's
selling the
what
young
you have to
guys.
hope for, yeah.
Russ has already done it. Russ said he would never give in to that he always wanted this year.
Yeah.
But the professors, no.
Here we go again.
Yep. So
And even
Owens
better,
is- they don't
Porcello's-
talk him up
And
anymore.
even better is Porcello's salary goes up to $20 million next year.
oh my God. Yeah.
$20 million pitcher.
I was wrong, guys. I was completely wrong, and I'll admit it. Porcello is a dog. He's terrible. I thought that was a good signing to, those 4 years.
I did too.
Oh my God.
We all did.
Terrible.
I got talked into that one too. We all did. We all fell for that.
Yeah. So, boys, do you remember the $6 million man? The Bionic Man,
Lee
right?
Majors,
Remember that?
sure.
Yeah, Lee Majors, right? Steve Austin. Yeah, $6 million. Well, it's now, and what did he have? He had eyesight,
Yeah.
right? He had special eyesight, and then he pretty much do everything with his arms and legs, right? Running and stuff. Well, we have a $72 million man, and his name is Rusney Castillo, and he has absolutely no superpowers whatsoever. He's now back in Pawtucket with Alan Craig, all $30 million. Joe Kelly, he must make like 10, right? So we've got literally a payroll in Pawtucket right now, maybe just as high as like Tampa's payroll, right?
Could
Kansas City's.
So I ask you, boys, what are we doing with Rusney Castillo?
Hopefully,
A confidence injection, maybe.
yeah. What's weird about this is.
Can he play, Russ?
Well, remember, last year when he came up, he played very well for, I don't know, 30 games. I mean, that wasn't a huge sample size, but he looked like a baseball player. He looked like he had instinct, speed, and all of it seemed to disappear in the offseason because that guy does not look like the same baseball
How
player
could
that
they
we saw
all be
last
wrong?
year.
How could they all be wrong about the kid?
Yeah, right. But $72 million wrong.
Look, I think it's too early. I mean, I get
what's
it.
he,
It's
22?
too early to.
27.
No, he's
No,
28.
20, yeah.
But it's
And-
too early to write him off completely. I think you got to send him down and hope that he gets himself on track. It's a little wake-up call that he doesn't. That he's got to work his way back to the majors. In other words,
He's down as being 27?
Yeah. Well,
So he's
what's
32.
Cuban?
Cuban
No, yeah,
27
exactly.
might be,
Cuban,
yeah.
Right, that's like dog years. He's probably like 47, right? If we're now, Dominican, you add 5, right? But Cuba, you might add 10. He runs
don't know.
like he's 37. Yeah.
Well, but he didn't run like he was 37 last year. Remember,
no, I
he
agree
played
with
some
you.
very good baseball.
He was
looked like an
considered a
athlete.
center fielder.
He looked like an athlete last fall. He did.
But in non-pressure
compare- they
situations, I
compare
mean,
him
I
to
that's
understand
against
that, but that's
40-man roster
that may
guys.
not have nothing to do
But
with
then they
age.
told him he was going to get tested.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
There
you go.
He does look a little big.
Yeah, and so does Jan Moncada.
Yeah, but the problem is,
Oh,
is not
Moncada looks like he was raised on steroids.
not
from,
that he was.
from his mother's breast.
The problem is not that he's taking it. The problem is now that he's not taking it.
Yeah, right,
Right.
exactly.
I mean, that's the problem. Is then you say, all right, well, what could have happened in the off season? Well, the off season, what could have happened is,
Yeah.
you know.
So I have Sox promotions because I worry about the marketing department all the time. So for Dr. Charles, I have planned the. What do you think of this? Second year anniversary of the 2013 World Series?
Sure, why not?
That good, right? The 8th anniversary of the 2017,
Yep.
right? Because I know this is time for Joe to catch up with Julio Lugo, to see what he's up to. And my favorite, the introduction
Another
of
signing I loved. I loved that signing.
yeah, Julio
too.
Logan. So my favorite's the introduction of Wally's illegitimate child. I think that will come in veiled. Is
the
because this
naming
is what's
of it.
going to happen, right, guys? We're going to all of a sudden see that. Will you guys tune in, or you
Sure.
tuning out?
If they have a Kevin Euclid bobblehead, I'll go to the game.
But I mean, are you? We're the
Dustin
fans.
Sweat.
We're the fandom. We have a show. We're obviously very obsessed with our teams. Are you going to start tuning out the games?
They'll be on the background like they
Yeah.
always are.
Yeah,
right? What
no,
else?
I still think that those kids are still fun to watch.
Exactly.
I think so.
I like it
I
when.
might not watch all 9.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
the pitching it makes
Look,
it
it's
hard.
fun to see Mookie Betts get up.
It
It's
really
fun to see
is.
Bogarts improve. And look,
But you're
I'm not happy about any of this.
You don't go
Like,
to the
you
refrigerator
can't do anything
when
with
Mookie's
a,
up.
right.
You
But
know?
you're not going to watch from 1 to 9.
No.
The TV set is on in my house from 1 to 9.
Right.
But I'm in and out on it.
Yeah.
It's background noise, and I stop to watch whenever there's a dramatic moment. Someone
You like.
Bogarts is up at the plate, Mookie's up at the plate,
Yeah.
Holt's up at the plate. I stop to watch.
So, boys, let's segue. It's the NBA draft tonight. All right, it's very exciting. NBA draft's I think, a lot of fun because obviously, each player makes a huge difference to a team.
It's fun
the
when
Celtics
Danny
have,
Ainge is involved.
yeah,
too.
Trader Danny. Celtics have the 16th and 28th pick. Trader he's spoken a lot this week. He's talking a lot of trash. I want some predictions, guys, because the draft's in about 10 minutes. Will the Celtics make a big splash tonight?
I think they're going to move up. I don't know if it'll be to the 3rd pick, but it might be to the 9th pick. But I think he can't take 4 guys tonight.
Right. No.
Right?
No,
He's got
said he
4
won't.
picks. He's got 3 picks in the top 33. You just literally can't absorb that amount of guys. So
No.
something's going to happen.
Didn't
and the
he trade
obvious
the
thing
2
would
seconds
be,
already?
I don't believe so.
No.
No, I think the obvious thing would be to get as far up in this draft as you possibly can to take one of these impact players.
Okay, I am making a prediction. Of course, I think Kelly Olynyk's going tonight.
Yeah.
All right, but I think Avery Bradley is going tonight because I think they're going to move some of the current roster to move up in the draft, and I think he's the guy most likely to go. And I ask you boys, who do you think is most likely to go if a guy in the current roster, the current rotation, is to be traded tonight?
I would say Kelly. But I think he's going to try to go up. He's not going to get up, and he's going to wind up with the tank.
Frank the Tank.
You think they're going to tank
Kaminsky.
again?
No, Frank
Frank
Kaminsky.
the Tank Kaminsky.
I don't know.
I don't think he'll go in the 1st round.
I know he just
Oh my
reminds me
gosh,
of
he's going to go in the top 12 picks. The
Yeah.
issue with Kaminsky is not will he go in the 1st round or will he fall to
Will
the
it be
Celtics?
12 to 16.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean,
he does have that look of, that's the kind of guy Ainge likes.
Yeah,
big guy who can shoot.
I think he'll try to make deals, but I think if this
Yeah.
kid falls to him, he'll take it.
He reminds me of Greg Kite.
I got
No, he's a much more,
right.
way more skilled player. than
Oh,
that.
yeah?
Way more.
Yeah,
skilled.
yeah. He's
Yeah.
Greg Kite was a 1st-round pick.
Yeah, I know, but Kaminsky's a
Was he?
shooter. He's
Yeah, I
a
think
he's a
for the
guy who's got
Celtics, yeah.
3-point range. I mean, he's a different player.
Okay, so
But so is everyone nowadays.
Right, it's a different
Yeah.
league. Sully, I think Sullinger's
Sullinger?
most likely
Yeah.
to go. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they like his act. If you can get
No.
any value for Sullinger at this point in time, guy can't even get himself into shape to play basketball.
They played well without him, too.
They did.
yeah, absolutely.
They had the
They
best
made
part
the
of their
run. That's a
season
great
without him.
point, Pete.
Yeah.
They made the run to the playoffs
Without him.
But
without
why do all the rumors have Marcus Smart in them?
I know.
because he's got a lot of value.
He probably has
Yeah.
the most value on the
The most
team,
value.
right?
Defense.
I could see if they could get all the way up to 3 or 4 and get the kid from Ohio State, so it's point guard for point guard.
Well,
But
Joe, I think if Smart goes, it's because they didn't like his maturity. I think there's some maturity issue there that they didn't really want to deal
he
with
had a little
anymore.
Rajon Rondo in him. He got in a few scrapes with the refs down the stretch.
'Cause they
My
know
guess
him
is-
now.
Yeah, although my guess is if he goes, it has more to do with his value on the outside
Yeah, I
than
agree.
stuff they don't like about him. Plus, they didn't think they were going to end up with Isaiah Thomas
Yeah.
Yeah.
when they drafted Smart. So now you're looking at this thing and saying, Avery Bradley, Isaiah Thomas, Marcus Smart, and you throw in Evan Turner, who's good for 15 minutes a game,
Right.
and you say, we have a surplus of these guys. Who has the most value? It's Smart.
But Avery Bradley, like Scotty was saying, is a fine role player for
Yeah.
a team that's a player or two away. As a defensive stopper, you can bring in a guard.
Anybody could get traded
And
tonight.
Isaiah-
Danny could trade Brad Stevens tonight
No,
for all we know.
absolutely.
I
Right?
doubt it.
He would
Brad
trade
Stevens
anybody.
has more value than anyone around
Right.
that league, it seems.
Oh, absolutely.
Anybody could get
Did you
traded.
hear him on that program in the
He
morning?
did such a great job.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did a great job.
if he was in Wall Street right now, he'd
He
be the
was
head of like
tremendous.
Charles Schwab. If
He was
Brad
tremendous,
Stevens,
yeah.
it's Charles Schwab. I love and I hate. And right now, I love Kevin Love. And I want him to come to the Celtics, which, of course, there's only one person who hates Kelly Olynyk more than I do, and that's Kevin Love, right?
Right.
So
he's got to go to get Kevin
Yeah,
Love. And that's why you want him here.
Absolutely, that's right. I think Kevin Love. The
Kelly
moment I
will
heard
run.
moment I heard he opted out of his contract, I'm like, he's coming to the Celtics. So I ask you boys, is Kevin Love coming to the Celtics? And
Just
wow,
to chase
that
Kelly
changes,
Olynyk
that
down.
changes
right,
everything.
and that changes the dynamic of this team.
Yeah,
big
you know,
time.
I've heard a bunch of people the last couple of days start to pick on Kevin Love's game, but the reason why you get Kevin Love if you have a chance is that you don't have to give up anything other than money.
That's
You- have you heard some of the deals
they've got
about to
a lot.
get LaMarcus Aldridge or Boogie Cousins? You're talking about taking all the
Mega
stuff
deals.
you got from the Nets and pushing it back across the table to get one guy. Kevin Love is just money.
Yeah.
That's a great point
And
because
they wanted him last year, why wouldn't they want him this year?
Yeah, because a year ago, if we had been in these seats, we would have been saying that we want to give XXX to get Kevin Love, and we would have done that.
Absolutely.
Now, nothing
Yeah.
just but money.
And Love only wants to sign a 1 or 2 year deal right now.
But
He's waiting for the max contracts
Does he
to
want to
go
come
up.
here?
Yeah, well, you know what? He came here last summer to do a little Boston tour. He seemed to be interested. Now, if you know you're going to get Love, Sullinger's a lot easier to move, right? Kind of
Sure.
identical skill sets. You're going to move Kelly Olynyk. You can get a big guy all of a sudden.
But don't you think Danny has to do his thing tonight to present this
That's
to
exactly
Love
right.
tomorrow.
I think that's right, Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
It's a
point.
great point.
Is Danny making moves
Yes.
tonight for Kevin Love?
Just on Pete's
You're
point,
right.
I
That's
absolutely
a great
agree
point.
with
Just
Pete.
like to sell KG back in the day.
Right.
I totally
right.
agree. I think if you were, there's this guy, Willie Cauley-Stein, who's just
Yeah.
supposed to be a
Right.
defensive monster. And
Out
it's
of
the
Kentucky.
one guy who complements Love the best, because if you have a defensive monster who protects the rim, Love doesn't need to do it because he
Yeah.
can't play defense. So if
Right.
you're Kevin Love and you hear, well, we still have Marcus Smart, we
Right.
got a defensive monster, I still got Isaiah Thomas, this thing starts to look interesting for you.
That's the kid that Larry loves, right? Doesn't Larry love that
Larry
kid?
loves Willie Cauley-Stein, yes.
And he's supposed to go, what, round 10, right?
Yeah,
10,
9,
13.
10.
9, 10, 11, 12, but
So-
not going to drop to 16, I don't
No.
think.
But he's in reach.
In reach,
Yeah,
you could
well,
probably move up. I mean,
You
you
can
take
move
care.
up at least far enough to get him.
Agree.
But boys, the biggest chip we have, maybe even bigger than anybody on our team, are the unprotected New York, Brooklyn Nets picks.
Right.
Yeah.
2016, we can swap at 2017, and we have 2018. I think that may be a chip that they move tonight to get exactly
To
what
move
they
way
want.
up. Yeah, look, you could say, to Pete's point, you could move up from 16 to 12 or 11, maybe with the picks we have this year.
Right.
But to get up to 3, 4, 5, you're trading at least some of those
Yeah,
Nets picks.
Now, those net
Absolutely.
picks are more valuable than 16 and 28.
Oh my gosh,
Because
yeah.
they could be lottery picks.
They could be lottery picks.
I just want to mention the Red Sox must be pained right now to think that we're talking Celtics, and if the Celtics
Yeah.
make a big move, we'll be talking Celtics for the next couple of weeks, and then we go into the Patriots.
And if
Just
we had
another
a-
thing
yeah.
to the poor Red Sox.
And if we had another show tomorrow night, we'd be talking Bruins, too.
Yeah, right.
That's
Oh,
right.
what a segue, Uncle Joe.
Joe was
Going
looking
to-
at the
Yeah,
paper.
yes,
That's
he
not
is.
fair.
He's
Right
reading
there.
the Cliff Notes.
I thought he was going to bring Paul Pierce back for a second.
Oh no! Guys, YouTube Pete's rant on Paul Pierce. I mean, that has gone viral. Just remarkable last week.
Please stop sending me. Send it to Scott Kerman.
Yeah, right.
Don't send
the
me any more hate mail.
Grandstanders.com. All right. We'll talk a little NHL. The NHL Board of Governors have decided to go for the overtime, 3-on-3, from 4-on-4 to 3-on-3 for 5 minutes, and then they'll go to the shootout. What do you think of that new rule?
I think the Bruins are going to be happy because they were so pitiful in shootouts that
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
will be better than that, right? You're just not going to have shootouts anymore.
No.
Yeah, I love it. I mean,
He's terrific.
Shootouts got boring.
Yeah.
They got boring.
Right.
They were time-consuming and tedious. They took like a half hour.
You wanted
sometimes.
the game to end before a shootout,
Yeah.
and that's not what it was meant to be.
You'd see a lot of
Yeah.
fans leave and,
Yeah.
and not watch
No
a
one's
shootout.
going to leave
Yeah.
these games.
Yeah.
And those 3-on-3. Remember last year they had a game towards the end of the year that they ended up in overtime on 3-on-3 because of the penalties?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So exciting. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's not that it's different than a penalty shot. You know,
Right.
a penalty shot during a game is a lot.
It's exciting.
Yeah, and the other team gets a chance. It's a little different.
What do you think the
And it's another
goalies...
special team to have out there, like maybe Spoonis, Pasternak.
Right.
You know, a bunch of fast young
Yeah.
legs.
And you may keep these guys on the roster because of that.
Well, if there was ever any reason to get a fourth line full of speedy guys,
Yeah.
this is it, right? Wouldn't you like to
it's a
have...
speed
Yeah, but
league.
Claude's fourth line is always a dinosaur line.
yeah, that may change now, though.
Yeah.
Claude's going to have to make some adjustments if he's going to
I
stay.
don't think
Yeah,
Claude's
I don't-
making too many decisions
Yeah,
these
no,
days.
That
yeah.
fourth line is
We're-
always
we're
slow
keenly
and
aware
cumbersome.
who's making the decisions now.
Absolutely. I would love, instead of, because if no one scores, they still go to the shootout. I would just love for them to clear the ice, have the two goaltenders there, and they skate to the middle of the ice, and they beat the crap out of each other. And whoever wins
It'd be like
the
a
fight,
jousting thing.
Yeah,
they
right.
could put their, you know...
Because is there no more exciting thing in the
Hockey
NHL
fight,
than
goalie fights?
It
goalie
was
fights?
Eddie Jockman versus Jerry Cheeves. Oh, it was one of the greatest things I ever
See?
saw.
Great. Well, that's another show tonight. That went quick, boys. Want to thank, of course, the Barber to the Stars, Hollywood, Pete McGilvery, the Professor, Russ Stevens, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, everyone behind the scenes. My name is Scott Kerman. Have a great night.